From News 19, I'm meteorologist Brianna Mallory, and we're tracking the tropics for potential tropical impacts here in South Carolina. Right now, it looks to be around Monday or Tuesday to start next week. And again, we could see some possible tropical rainfall and winds. That would be some downpours, strong wind gusts possible, but we're going to dive into all of this here right now. We're watching two storms right now in the Atlantic. The first one we've been talking about already, Hurricane Humberto. It is a Category 1 right now, but is expected to strengthen over the next several days. And the second storm we're watching, which is the one that could bring impacts here to South Carolina, has not fully developed yet, but we do have a little bit of information on it. So right now, Humberto from 11 o'clock advisory, winds are 90 miles per hour. It's moving very slow. It's only moving at 5 miles per hour, but it's expected to strengthen pretty quickly to a Category 4 by the weekend, by the start of the weekend, and it's going to continue to stay a Category 4, which is a major hurricane, and it's going to stay a Category 4 really into the start of next week, and then it will weaken as it pushes northward by the middle of the week into cooler waters. Right now, we're not expecting any impacts from Humberto locally, but areas in Bermuda, could see impacts from this system, and it could also influence the storm that could impact us, Invest 94L. But looking at Humberto, we could see some of those hurricane force winds staying far out away from us, so no worries of wind from Humberto here at home. Areas in the Bahamas do have a Bermuda do have a 5% chance of hurricane force winds as we head into the middle of next week. But looking at the tropical storm winds, those move out a little further, still not really impacting land unless you have interest in Bermuda, and then they have a pretty significant chance for tropical storm winds by the start of next week. But we're really watching is Invest 94L. It has a 90% chance of development now. It's a very high. When we're watching it right now, it's still a cluster of showers and storms that hasn't organized into a low pressure system just yet, but is expected to and already has started to. So over the next 7 days, a 90% chance of development. Over the next 48 hours, a 90% chance of development. So very likely this will form into a tropical depression very soon. So here's the latest information we have on Invest 94L. This is what it looks like right now. Again, it's still a cluster of showers and storms. It doesn't look very organized because it's not yet, but winds right now around 30 miles per hour. Gusts are 40. It's moving at around 10 miles per hour. So it's not moving very fast, but we are still getting some information on 94L. The models are beginning to show a potential impact here across South Carolina. There's still a few outliers, but they are becoming more consistent after several runs of those models that they could see impacts along the Carolina coast and parts of the southeast as we head into next week. Looking at water temperatures for where this system is, they're very warm. For development to occur, water temperatures must be 80 degrees or higher, but the waters that and this tropical wave are in right now are pushing 88 degrees. So it's very hot waters there, going to help this system develop as it pushes to the north and could potentially impact us here in the Midlands. There's a couple ways this storm could be steered. We have a low pressure system across the south, and that's going to help bring it to the north. There's a few paths it could take. It could get influenced by Humberto and pulled back out to sea. That would be best case scenario, but unfortunately that's looking like the least likely scenario. More likely, it looks like it will get pulled into the Carolina coast and bring us impacts at the start of next week. We also have a high pressure system far to the north funneling some of that air in as well, and looks like it may get pulled to the west between those high and low pressure systems. But we are going to continue to bring the latest on those impacts. And if it does form, which it is expected to, it would become Imelda. It's the next name on our list of tropical names for the 2025 Atlantic hurricane season. And we need to be watching this closely. It's close enough now. It's in that red highlighted section. We have days to a week before we could see those impacts. So definitely want to be watching, preparing just in case we do see those impacts. We are still in the peak months of hurricane season. So this is when we're going to continue to see pretty active activity across the tropics. The peak day was September 10th, so we are just past that, but September is still when the ocean waters are at their warmest of the year, and that's when we get the most development. We are still in September, so as we get into October, activity will decrease pretty quickly, and especially by November. But things have been a little quiet this season. We're actually a little bit behind normal for average activity. So by September 22nd, normally we would have, or on average, 10 named storms. This year, we've only had 8. By September 28th, normally we'd have our 5th hurricane. We've only had 3 hurricanes so far, and not expecting to have 5 by September 28th. By September 19th, we should have, or normally would have on average, 2 major hurricanes. And we have now had those 2 major hurricanes with Humberto forming and Gabrielle. So we are on par with the major hurricanes, but we are behind in the amount of storms in the Atlantic. But again, looking at breaking all that information down to summarize everything, a tropical depression may form today or later today into tomorrow. So significant uncertainty still. There's multiple scenarios and multiple paths the storm could take depending on the speed and location of Humberto, those high and low pressures. So, but we are still seeing plenty of models making it or trying to push it into our area. So the southeast does need to stay weather aware and pay attention. Here at News 19, we are going to bring you the latest updates on Humberto and Invest 94L. Invest 94L will become Imelda if it does form. That's the one we're watching, and that's the one that could bring us some impacts here to South Carolina. But we'll have more updates here on News 19 and WLTX Plus. Again, I'm meteorologist Brianna Mowry.